Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Journalists targeted. 5 newsroom employees shot and killed in their own office. How their co-workers are paying tribute as we learn new information overnight about the suspected shooter.
Today, local homeless veterans have a place to lay their heads. We're live at the annual Stand Down event and how it is transforming lives.
Today, students and staff at Valhalla High School will honor the coach who was killed when his motorcycle crashed into a patrol car.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I'm Virginia Cha.
I'm Jason Martinez. Yeah, welcome to Friday, and the weekend is here. Megan, what can we expect?
Oh, cooler weather and a lot more clouds. Those clouds are much farther inland this morning. In fact, they're much farther past Ramona. So no fog in Ramona, no fog west of the mountains to report, in fact. So something good for your Friday morning commute. It's overcast for us instead as we look towards La Jolla from La Jolla Shores. 61 degrees here. Sunset this evening for your Friday night at 8:03. It's Friday, so let's get a little puppy for you. So your dog walking forecast of the 60s as you're heading out this morning. Maybe you're going home for lunch to let him out. 70 degrees then, and then dipping down to the 60s again by 6 o'clock. I will pinpoint who will be staying in the 60s today when I come back in just 8 minutes. And Kalina, we're hoping for Friday light today.
You know what? I'm actually surprised. It's not looking too bad yet, and I'm hoping I didn't just jinx it. Right now, toward the center of your screen, you'll see some yellow building on the 805. It's not as bad as it usually is this time of the morning. So if you're going to be traveling here, speeds down to about 40 miles per hour. That's just before the 8. 5 northbound seeing a little bit of a slowdown through National City. Your speeds here down to about 39 miles per hour. North County overall commute time 78 westbound. Take you 15 minutes to get into Oceanside. And this is our trouble spot this morning heading into Coronado. If you usually take this right now, it'll be about a 9-minute ride. Usually it's about 3 minutes. So plan ahead and leave early if you take that route. Guys?
Thank you very much, Kalina. Let's get to the new information coming in overnight about that deadly shooting at a Maryland newspaper. And this right here is the opinion page of the Capital Gazette this morning. It reads, "Today we are speechless." And then it was left blank to commemorate the 5 paper employees shot and killed yesterday.
And these are those employees. You can see their pictures are on the front page of this morning's edition. The photo below shows the scene outside the newspaper office yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, the Annapolis paper, it shared a building with other businesses there whose employees are now talking about what they saw.
The door of the Capital Gazette had been blown to pieces. It was in shattered pieces all on the carpet. And this guy was holding what looked like a big shotgun and moving across the entrance of the Capital Gazette office, pointing the gun deeper into the office, like he was targeting people.
Well, and also new from overnight, this is the new image of Jared Ramos. A few hours ago, he was charged with 5 counts of murder. The retired editor of the Gazette does say that Ramos had a history of social media threats against him. It started after the paper began to report on Ramos's guilty plea to stalking his ex-girlfriend in 2011.
He kept track of both the reporter and I. He knew we had left. So I doubt that he was looking for me when he came in that door, but he was certainly looking to retaliate.
Well, we know the Capital Gazette reported Ramos's threats to police. Ramos also filed a lawsuit against that newspaper in 2012 for defamation and lost. Sources tell ABC News Ramos hasn't been cooperating and he had to be ID'd through facial recognition. He'll have a bail hearing later this morning.
Along with the 5 people killed at that newspaper office, 2 others were hurt. This is the worst attack on journalists in the U.S. in years. A group that tracks mass shootings says this is the 154th in the U.S. just this year. We will bring you updates on the investigations here on 10 News, and we'll be showing you some more coming up at 6:30, some of the tributes that are pouring in for those victims.
All right, happening today, the homeless vets will get the help they need, such as food, clothes, job help, and a place to sleep.
Yeah, the 31st annual Stand Down event kicking off today. 10 News anchor Jim Patton live at San Diego High School. Jim, the gate's scheduled to open right now.
You are absolutely right. And take a look. The line has stretched now down the block. Some of the folks in line have been here for a week because they really want to have a chance to take advantage of the services, like hopefully finding a place to live. And then as you look off to the right, you can see all the volunteers prepared to get them registered and into the event. It was right here in San Diego that this program started 31 years ago. We got a truck that's cleaning out some stuff we got to talk over. It's been replicated, this event now, some 30 or 300 times across the country. And for the next 3 days, vets will have access to medical and dental care, as well as support services, employment and housing connections, clothing, free haircuts, and a safe place to sleep and a lot of good food to eat. There's even going to be live entertainment this weekend. So stand down, a military term. It talks about taking a break from combat. This is taking a break from the combat of living on the streets. So the doors are about to open, and this event will go on through the weekend. There'll be closing ceremonies on Sunday afternoon at about 4 p.m. Reporting live at San Diego High School, Jim Patton, 10 News.
Thank you, Jim. We have some breaking news. A breach at a cargo terminal at Lindbergh Field.
And San Diego police on the scene, as well as Harbor Police. 10 News photojournalist Paul Andreg live on our 10 News breaking news tracker. Paul, what happened?
Yeah, this is right off Terminal 1. You can see the Southwest Airliners there if you're familiar with that first part of the terminal. This is a little terminal right before that at Terminal 1. You can see Harbor PD on scene. About 5:15 this morning, they got a call that someone had jumped over the fence back here in those cargo areas where they readied the cargo to be loaded on planes, and that person had begun fighting with some of the employees at Delta Cargo. Now, they called the Harbor PD. We'll show you some video of what that scene looked like over there where those cargo containers actually are. When officers arrived, that man actually began fighting with the officers, struggling with him. They were able to take him into custody. They're trying to find out if he had anybody else that was with him. We're hearing there may have been 2 other people on the other side of the fence that he jumped over, which is lined with barbed wire. So unknown exactly how he was able to get over there, and maybe he got hurt as he was jumping over. But right now they're investigating what he was doing out there and what his intentions were.
Yeah, and those employees having to fight them off. What a way to start their work day this morning there at Lindbergh Field, especially on a very busy travel weekend. Paul, thank you very much for keeping us informed there at Lindbergh Field. Virginia?
Thank you, Jason. Today, students, staff, and neighbors of Valhalla High School will remember this coach who was killed when his motorcycle crashed into a sheriff's patrol car. Valhalla High tweeted that Carter Yarborough was not just a great coach, he was a great man. He coached track and cross country. Sunday night, police say Yarborough was going fast on northbound on the 101 in Encinitas when he hit a patrol car, making a U-turn from the southbound lanes. Yarborough's family has questions. They say he was always a safe driver and that it took deputies almost 12 hours to notify them that Carter had died.
I feel like they killed my son. If it never was for that turn, he could be here today.
Tonight at 6:30 at Valhalla High, people will walk a memorial mile around the school's track in honor of Coach Yarborough, and then they will share their memories.
Now, a 10 News Morning Original. New reporting first at 6.
A big change coming to animal control services because starting this weekend, the Humane Society will take over for the county in 6 cities: San Diego, Del Mar, Solana Beach, Encinitas, Carlsbad, and Santee. 10
News reporter Jared Aarons live at Animal Control with what this means for pet owners around the county. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning, Virginia. Jason, Saturday at 1, Animal Control will be out of this building and the Humane Society will take over this entire complex. This is where you go for licenses or to turn in or adopt stray or found animals. And some of the people we talked to say they hope this means even better service from the Humane Society now that everything that they need for pets is going to be wrapped up into one organization.
You guys want to get it? You want to get it? Shiloh, you gonna get it? Go get it.
Perry Cody takes her dogs Matilda and Shiloh to Dog Beach every day.
Dog.
She'd grown frustrated with county animal control over how they've handled recent attacks at the beach.
They used to respond. They have stopped responding, saying that as a pet owner, when you bring your dog here, you're at risk.
She's hoping that changes now that the Humane Society is taking over. Starting Sunday, they'll provide licensing, law enforcement, and sheltering of lost or stray pets. They're replacing the county after 6 cities decided not to renew their contracts.
You may see a different logo on a vehicle, a different phone number, but that'll be about it. The service will be the same.
It may wind up being better. In addition to all of the animal control duties, the Humane Society will still provide extended care, safety net programs, and specialty programs.
We think the county did a great job for over 30 years taking care of animals here. We have the ability to go beyond what government contracts pay for because we're a nonprofit.
The Humane Society says they've hired 200 new employees, some from animal control. They plan to expand service hours and coverage 7 days a week.
Ready, ready, ready. Go get it.
That's what people like Perry are hoping for.
I think the Humane Society does a wonderful job as far as abuse and cruelty, and hopefully they will do a wonderful job taking over our county services.
Now, we've put the phone number you need to know now for things like pet licenses, strays, lost or found animals, and also adoptions. It's on our website, 10news.com. Live at the Humane Society, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
Thank you, Jared. And as we listen to your stories about how you're making it in San Diego, we're looking for unique solutions to help you afford this great city. But the state is also listening to you and looking for solutions in the legislature. In fact, several initiatives on the November ballot that we're learning could help you make ends meet. The ballot was set yesterday, and so here are a couple of things you can look for. A measure that would allow cities and counties to enact comprehensive rent control laws. Voters will also decide whether to approve $4 billion in bonds to build affordable and veteran housing. And the third initiative would expand tax cuts to homeowners over 55 if they buy a new home, effectively lowering their property tax bill if they move within the state. And as we face the challenges of making it in San Diego, we want to hear how you're making it here in our great city. Send us an email to tips@10news.com or message us to our 10 News Facebook page.
And as you're heading out today, keep in mind that we are running out of days at the fair. So if you're going out there today, about 60, mid to upper 60s, in fact, for the entire fair today. And it's Friday, so it's Electronic Friday. The DJs take the stage at 7 o'clock, about 65 degrees then. And the Padres back in town for 3 games only against the Pirates, taking your hour-by-hour forecast for downtown, about 70 degrees this afternoon. And the mid-60s for the game. Temperatures along our coastline, mid to upper 60s with a few 70s. But most of the county in the 70s today, 78 in Escondido, 70s also in our mountains. I'm going to be tracking the warm-up we're going to have into our 4th of July in about 8 minutes. Kalina?
Well, we were getting reports earlier of a possible wrong-way driver right now on the 8 heading eastbound right at West Willows. Looks like emergency crews are on scene here, so hopefully we'll get more information, but they were traveling westbound on the eastbound side right in that shoulder. So if you usually take this, just be careful as you head out the door, but it should be wrapping up shortly. 52 west, still just a 9-minute commute, Santee over to the 5, and North County nice and quiet this morning, 5, 15, 78, 56, all up to speed. We do have traffic, though, building out of the South Bay. I'll have that coming up in just a few minutes. Guys?
Homeward Bound, Mexico edition. How a pet detective used high-tech techniques to track down dogs stolen from a San Diego family's backyard.
The last Toys R Us stores closing their doors today. Why they may not stay empty for long.
It is 6:15. A girl at the center of the debate over brain death has died. Jahai McMath's mother says the girl died earlier this week. She suffered complications with liver failure. Jahai had been in a vegetative state for 5 years since she was 13. Jahai was declared brain dead after she suffered brain damage during a tonsil surgery in Oakland. Jahai's family disagreed, saying that she did show signs of life, and launched a legal battle. They were eventually allowed to move her for care in New Jersey.
Hundreds of UC San Diego health patients' personal information may have been exposed. According to the San Diego Union Tribune, UCSD Health says the data breach involves Nuance Communications. That's one of the system's subcontractors. Federal investigators say a former employee of Nuance breached the company's servers, accessed the information of 619 patients. They say they don't believe any information has been misused at this point.
2 local dogs stolen from their backyard have been found in Mexico thanks to the help of technology. The dogs were taken from their La Mesa backyard Monday morning, so the family posted flyers and says that they also enlisted the help of a pet detective who used facial recognition software to track the dogs online.
They were able to find a web page in Rosarito, Mexico that basically had posted our dogs up for adoption.
Yeah, so the dogs had apparently been picked up in Puerto Nuevo just hours after they disappeared and were possibly left on the side of the freeway. A woman who found them met the family in Rosarito to give them back. The family says they're considering filing a police report about what happened because they believe they were targeted.
Those dogs are so cute. Toys R Us officially shutting its doors today. Look at this sad photo of Toys R Us mascot Jeffrey the giraffe. This is going viral. You can see why. His suitcase is all packed. That's him waving from inside an empty store. Toys R Us, as you'll recall, filed for bankruptcy last year. Retail experts say other retailers are already eyeing these empty stores. As for Jeffrey the giraffe, the San Antonio Zoo is hoping to use the copyrighted giraffe as a wildlife ambassador for giraffes in the wild. They've set up a GoFundMe page to try to make that happen.
It's the end of an era, and we love you, Jeffrey. We just want to tell you that this morning. So LeBron James has until midnight tonight to decide if he wants to remain on his current contract with the Cavaliers. It's widely expected that the three-time champ will decline his option, clearing the way for free agency and a sweepstakes. Rumors have swirled. Is he going to L.A. or not? He has 2 homes there, just saying. Lakers have the money to sign him with another max salary player. He could also sign a short-term contract with the Cavs.
Oh, boy. 6:17. People leave behind all kinds of things in rental cars, and apparently that includes snakes. A 5-foot boa constrictor found in this car that had been returned to a rental center at Oakland's airport this week. How would you like to find that in your rental car? Workers called deputies to come get the snake. They aren't sure the snake was actually left behind, but they did post a picture online asking for the owner to call them.
Yeah, they're harmless, right? So it don't,
Boa constrictors? Yeah, they'll just squeeze your dog and eat them.
All right, so a police officer escaped injury when this happened. Lightning striking just yards from his patrol car. Surveillance video from outside the police department in Florida shows the officer getting out of his car, and then boom, there you can see it. He gets right back in as he rushes in to seek shelter. The storm did knock out some power to a police department building, but we don't see that as much in Cali here. But,
nope.
You know, Florida, you still never get used to this, though.
Yeah, that's
close.
way too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Wow.
Loud and things shake.
And terrifying. Yeah, I like that he just instantly gets back in his car. Yeah, Florida, the most lightning strikes anywhere in the country. All right, let's show you what's going on in Escondido. It's cloudy and it's pretty overcast for most of us, in fact, this morning, but it's not foggy. Those marine layers, the marine layer clouds much farther inland this morning, even off the ground in Ramona. So that is the good news for your commute. So 10 News Futurecast a little underestimating how far inland the marine layer is this morning, but it does a pretty good job showing those clouds clearing into the afternoon for our inland neighborhoods. I do expect those clouds to linger right along our coastline. So some areas will get more sunshine than others. Some areas will get limited sunshine this afternoon right along the coast. If you go just a few miles inland, though, you'll see those sunny skies. So cooler as we head forward into the next few days, cooler than normal, in fact. Slower clearing today and tomorrow, but then high pressure starts to build again, that bubble of warm air, if you will. Starting on Sunday, we'll notice faster clearing, and that trend continues into our 4th of July. Really nice weather next week, 72 degrees and sunny along our coastline for Independence Day. Pretty perfect. Inland neighborhoods were in the 70s all weekend long, and then jumping just slightly into the low 80s. Thursday, we start a warming trend that looks like it's going to make us quite toasty the following weekend. So, of course, we'll be watching that for you. In the 70s through midweek in our mountains and 100s, but low 100s in our deserts. Kalina, how's it going out there?
You know what? It's not too bad. I've been tracking all the activity for you, and it's been pretty light. So if you take a look here in North County, your ride in Oceanside, Escondido, San Marcos, all up to speed. Commute time on the 15 freeway southbound right now, just about 12 minutes. That's leaving Escondido as you head toward the 56. Also, a little bit of a slowdown on the 5, but by this time of the morning, we usually see lots of traffic. This isn't actually that bad. Speeds down about 24 to 33 miles per hour. 805 also slowing down slightly to about 40 miles per hour, and our Caltrans camera actually shows the 805 northbound here. You can see some traffic building, but again, overall, not too bad. Jason, Virginia?
Thank you, Kalina. A family's van in flames on the side of a California highway. How a NASCAR driver got involved just in the nick of time.
And protection from pot, the adorable creature that officials say could go extinct because of marijuana growing in Northern California.